Oldfields has been a magical place for me. A lot of people influenced me in a way that they didn't even notice. I made lots of amazing friendships, and I'm extremely lucky and do not regret spending my 4 years here. I want to share the 6 values that I learned at Oldfields: respect, sincerity, acceptance, generosity, dedication, and integrity. Respect. It happened during my freshman year on the basketball court at Whiskey Major. I bet you'll look very confused now when I mention her name. But the following story sparked our friendship. I was quite scared when I first talked to her. Her sassy look gave me the feeling that her words were going to bite me right away. She just had that independent attitude, and strengths inherent in her personality made me very frightened to even look at her. So when I was chosen to be on the varsity basketball team, for which I had no talent, I was scared to even do every day's partner practice. I usually tried to stay unnoticed by grouping with Ms. Hill, our former basketball coach, so I didn't have to show my basketball skills to others. However, one time, Ms. Hill assigned a group and she put me with Denasia. It was a man-on-man defense practice. We have to dribble the ball across the court with one defender in front of you while you switch hands and run zigzag touching every cone. Every time I tried to dribble or change direction, Denasia would take off the ball from my hand. She didn't go easy on me, and I don't think she was that tough when she played against Morgan. I barely made it to the other side of the court and didn't even want to recall what happened. I was ashamed and felt very embarrassed. But then I heard someone ask Denasia something like, "Why did you give Laura such a hard time when you know she didn't play a lot before? Just be easy on her." And Denasia said, "She will only improve if I'm being very harsh on her. She can only learn when I challenge her." I was absolutely shocked when I heard those sentences. The fact that despite what level my skills were, Denasia treated me as if I were the same level or even better. She didn't play down to my level. Denasia didn't say to herself, "I'm just going to relax a bit here and play it safe because she's clearly worse than me." She respected me as a player. That's my very first time I realized what it means to respect everyone, and I applied that later not only on the court but within my daily life. Sincerity. There is some real magic in my friendship with Isabella. We have been best friends since her unexpected visit to my room freshman year. Funnily enough, we never had the same class throughout my 4 years at Oldfields, and our relationship has never weakened. Instead, it has become more powerful than before. She laughed at me when my phone dropped several times. First, in her house swimming pool, and the second time in the trash can in the dining hall. And that's why I got a new phone. I also laughed at her old man music and just being dress coded every day. Throughout these 4 years, she has always waited me after our second period class every day to go to lunch. And during spring break our junior year, when my parents booked the wrong ticket and had to leave early, I had nowhere to go, but she generously lent her whole bedroom to me. Isabella was similar to most people and showed kindness to me when I first came to US. But what bonded us even more is her sincere interest in my culture. Her interest was not just asking me to teach her words in Chinese, but it went deeper, and she truly grew from it. The most impressive part is not how she got interested in Chinese Kung Fu and became a pro in it, but the fact that her whole family is also interested in my culture. When my mom and I visited her house, her family was so kind, and her grandfather tried really hard to understand my mom's awkward English. He asked her a lot of questions regarding Chinese history and architecture. My mom later told me how comfortable she felt surrounded by all of Isabella's family members, and that she felt bad that she couldn't teach them more. The kindness Isabella showed and the sincere interest she had about my culture are so consistent and never ending. I'm so grateful to have a friend like you. Acceptance. I still remember the first day that I met Charlie. We were at the International Student Orientation Activity. Ms. Vanderveer, who used to be the Latin teacher here, took us to the Baltimore Zoo. I approached Charlie first because she seemed very independent, with her headphone on, and she just didn't look very international. So I remember our conversation kind of went like this. "Hi, I'm Laura. So what's your name?" So she lifted her name tag, Charlotte, but I prefer Charlie. "So where are you from?" "Canada." "So you're speaking English?" "Well, yeah, but I'm from Quebec, Montreal, and French is my first language." I don't think I could have ever imagined how our relationship would later build up from this little conversation, and she's definitely not a shy girl I thought she was. From her, I learned a lot about acceptance. There are always struggles when you are moving to such a different country or environment to go to school, and she became the bridge that linked me and US together. She slowly guided me on the way and taught me step by step on how things work in the Western world, and she would always have that magical pocket which contains all of the solutions to my confusion and problems. One time, I remember Amy and I struggling about how much tip we should give to a Uber driver. We immediately text Charlie and asked for advice. Not only did she blend the Canadian-US culture together so well, but she also fits into Chinese and Korean culture as well. The diversity was in her, and her willingness to learn from different cultures really impressed me. I'm so glad to have someone that not only accepts my culture, but also understands my struggles that I face. Love you. Generosity. She is one of the most generous women with largeness of heart that I have ever met, Ms. Isaacs. She's basically my second advisor, since our two advisors spent so much time together. From donating every year, including her famous cookie and stationery materials for the junior class, to volunteering to driving students to a sports game, to helping out at the horse show, to feeding all the hungry students like me that could not get up for breakfast. She has done so much for the OS community and beyond. Despite all of that, her consistent help and love for the most fragile things in the world, the animals, really touched me. The patience, time, and effort she puts into taking care of those animals is stupendous. While taking care of over 10 dogs at her own house, she rescued kittens and other animals along the way. That woman has given so much of her personal life to care for those creatures when she could have spent it elsewhere. Generosity to her is a daily routine. Lending a helping hand just seems so natural. But also the consistency that she had been doing all of those things for more than 25 years set a great model for me. Dedication. I cannot finish my speech without sharing how Miss Michelle Harrison challenges me to go into the science. Her passion for science is undeniable. Through my 4 years here, I witnessed the growth of our science department with all the effort and dedication she put into this program. I'm so glad to be able to have such amazing STEAM-related seminars and activities this year. I can't even describe the amount of work that goes behind inviting various speakers coming every week and driving us 2 to 4 hours to join science competition or field trips off campus. She made magic at Oakfields. Her passion for science and her consistent hard work in the STEAM field really pushed me to pursue my own dream to become a female science researcher in the future. Last but not least, integrity. Ms. Regner. I might be the only one at our school who really come to their advisor for closing problems. When I tangle my yarn, I find Ms. Regner. When I miss a stitch, I find Ms. Regner. And when I accidentally cut a hole in my hat, I find Ms. Regner. She can fix everything. It's so hard to describe that bond between me and her, but I could not survive my 4 years of high school without her. She's such an incredible woman, and I feel so very lucky to know her so personally and deeply. She showed me the strengths within her personal and professional life. She might not be able to guide me in my field, but she taught me to stay true to myself and live my own way. She also bakes very good Christmas cookies. The chocolate-covered crackers with salt and mint candy on it. You guys should ask her to make some. These 6 values are only parts of the things I learned and experienced at Oakfields. I have a whole group that stand by my side every day, and I don't think I have time to call them out, all of them. I'm going to start first with Sophie Xie. You're such a talented dancer that shined on every stage. I truly regretted what I said during our first year, that I'm never going to get into K-pop, which I did. Next one, Amy. Do you know how much weight I gained just eating ramen with you for the last school year? You have largeness of heart, and I wish I was someone like you that forget all of the stress. Sylvie, I knew you before anyone from this school. You are such a talented poet, and thank you for listening to all of my complaints. Sophie Liu, my lovely roommate, your talents in art really impressed me, and I had so much fun living with you. Sarah and Bella, there's no more friendship that I need the most between you two, and I really enjoyed the time that we studied chemistry together. Lucy, my little partner for badminton. Let's work hard to get a badminton double championship this year.
Yes. Yeah.
Claire, I'm so glad to see your Chinese improve. I really like your easygoing personality. Hope you all the best next year. Miss Gabo, thank you for your consistent support and belief in me. I couldn't ask for more. Mr. Zhu and Miss Wenji, there's no doubt that I'm so lucky to have you two at Oakfields. Not only could I talk more comfortably in front of you, both of you, in Chinese, but my parents and I also received numerous help from you both. You're like my second set of mom and dad. The positive attitude and perseverance you taught me on the badminton court, as well as the fearlessness to ask questions in class, will have a lifelong impact on me. Yating and Valencia. I remember I live on the second floor in Carroll, and you two live in the room right across me. I used to always go to your room for ramen, because my roommate during my first year really hated the smell. And our relationship just started to grow. We share our stress together, watch shows together, eat together, and go shopping together. We're like the 30 musketeers and never leave anyone behind. Stepping into college, I will start a new life. I will begin to build a new community around me. But I will still cherish all of my memories in all fields. And I'm proud to say that I'm Yang Lu Yao, and I'm finally a fourth-year senior.